Welcome back to IOR Season 12. Today we are at a new track for the league. It's Silverstone Reversed. It's gonna be an interesting race to watch. We've had Silverstone in nearly every season of in the story of the league. But today we will be racing the backwards track which has been added in F1 25. It's new of this game. It's the first time we are racing on this track in IOR history, and then, well, Dino at the moment leading the session. Now Bombo moves up to P1 at 27.7 for the Aston Martin driver. We go on with Mark Bialos back into the lobby, had in a disconnection there. Omar, the man that won last week in Spain, we're gonna be going with him as well. Now Luca goes P1 at 26.2. Luca, a man that needs to get some points in the standings, has had some pretty not good races. Now Ecosar moves up to P2 at 26.7, 5 times slower than the Red Bull driver. We're gonna see what Omar can do. Is still into the grass there. Seems could be a good day for Luca today. David Saliba making his debut as a reserve driver in the Williams team. Luca has left the session. Well, he's probably gonna join back very quickly. Gonna go then with Mark, who's invalidated the laps, not started his qualifying run yet. Well, Mark coming into the pit lane. We're gonna go then with Wilco, who's apparently finishing a lap. Now Onion moves up to P3, 27.4 for the Haas driver. The man that got a podium in Singapore last week, he didn't have a great race in Spain. Now Saliba moves up to P8, pretty decent lap for his debut. Only 1/10 behind RPM. RPM, who unfortunately DNF'd last week. Is he looking for a good result today? The Ferrari team been scoring very solid points, also thanks to Dino Bino Bambino, the man that currently on P4 in the standings. It's an interesting championship we've got. Luca asking for an invite, so we're gonna send him one. Well, hopefully Luca will be able to join back. I'm not able to invite him, but I guess an invite's been sent to the IOR chat, so should be able to join back. At the moment, Luca leads, though still disconnected. Dookie moves up to P4. Good lap there by the McLaren driver. Mark still has not been able to set a lap time. Omar is about to start what's gonna be his first flying lap of the day. We're following now the man that won in Spain last week, following him into the final corner. And going down to third gear, which in the normal track would be the final couple of corners. Now here it's the first couple of corners. Going down into fifth gear. He's gonna try and get a nice exit out of there. He does so. Quickly opening the batteries. Not actually the DRS. Not using too much battery. Got a yellow flag. That seems to be a Ferrari going slow. Following now Omar, attacking a little bit the curb there. Oh, and invalidates now. Not a good start of qualifying for Omar. Joseph Vesely in the pit lane has not set a lap time yet. Bialo has invalidated his previous lap. We're gonna go on with Mark, the man currently on P3 in the standings after 4 races. He's a rookie driver, but he's looking for the championships. Looking good to fight for this championship as well if he keeps the consistent run. Following him into the Wellington Straight. Goes down to third gear. Our Alpine driver. Let's see where he's going to be able to put that Alpine today. Luca did rejoin the lobbies, coming out of the pit lane now. Has a very big gap compared to Equusar. Seems to be very comfortable around here. Now Mark moves up to P9. It's not a great lap for the Alpine today. We'll see if this maybe it's not his best track for the day. We'll see what Equusar can do. Equusar's improving at 10 seems like. Still pretty far from Luca's time. Luca still has more margin to improve. And currently with that 26.2. Of course it's a new track for everyone, so we may see this big differences like we are seeing now with Luca. At least in qualifying the race, maybe the pace is going to be a little bit closer. But at the moment, it's Luca being very, very dominant. Equusar is trying to get a little bit closer. Is going to keep trying to score very solid points. Joseph Vesely, a man that didn't have a great race at all last week in Spain, still leads the championship ahead of this man, but he will need to start getting good results once again. This could be a complicated race for him as well. Could be a complicated race for anyone, really. 3 tenths of improvement, and Equusar 2 tenths lower than Luca. Luca who's now improving a 10 seems like in his second run. Luca could be the favorite to win today's race. We will see what his teammate Omar can do. We know he's a very quick driver, but seems to have been struggling a lot with his setting a good lap. Dookie is one that's doing a great job compared to what we usually see from him, or what we've seen from him in the last races. Currently up into P4. Onian also doing a very good job in P3, looking for another podium in his career. We're gonna go then with Luca, the man that's dominating the session at the moment. It's a little bit of grass there. We'll see how quicker can he go. Improves 2 tenths. Now it's a 26.0 for Luca. Coming back to the Luca we saw in Australia, seems like that was at the beginning of the season. He was the quickest driver in qualifying, and now maybe the quickest driver once again. Gotta go with the championship leader, Joseph Vesely, looking for a good result to hold into his championship lead. This could be, like I said before, a difficult race for a lot of people. Currently Joseph Vesely with a 2.4 in Sector 2. We'll see where can he put that Haas by the end of the session. We follow now Joseph Vesely to the final part of the track. He actually is coming into the pit lane. He will not be finishing that lap, unfortunately for him. He's gonna have one more run, and now here comes Wilco, moves up to P5. Good job there by Wilco. We follow now Dino Bino Bambino. Seems to be on... it's not on a flying lap, is he? Probably on an in lap. Buva moves up to P4. Very solid lap there by Buva. Buva who finished P4 last week and started scoring very solid points. I think it's around P. Omar's retired from the session as he crashed out. No, he's done in the pit lane. He's gonna be starting at the back as well. Well, that's another of the championship contenders not getting a good qualifying here. Like I said, it was gonna be a very difficult track. We'll see where he can get in the race. Can he try last to first or something like that? It's gonna be difficult. Meanwhile, Joseph Vesely, like I said before, also struggling. Charlie serving a quali ban, same as Georgie Boy. We're gonna go with Onian, the man that's currently on P3. It's one of the only 3 drivers on the 26. Everyone else still on the 27 low. But Onian currently, I think, coming for what's gonna be... No, I think it's on an in-lap actually, not on a flying lap. Gonna go on then with David Saliba. David Saliba, who I think starting a flying lap. Yes, he probably is starting a flying lap. We follow him into sector 1. He's gonna open the DRS. He, well, of course, will look to do a good race in his debut in the league, improving 3 times his previous lap. That's a massive improvement for only one sector. I think a top 10 would be great for his first race in the league. Following now David into the second sector. Going very aggressive through cops. They're a curve that can send you into the barrier very easily, but he managed to save it. Now he's gonna come into the end of sector 2. He's gonna get into the Wellington Straight, which in this track doesn't have a DRS activation zone like it does in the original layout. Improving only 1/10, he lost a little bit of time there in this sector 2. Probably running over cops, over the curve of cops. Now attacks the inside of the corner. Down 3rd gear for David. And now he's gonna come. I think he's not deploying all the battery he should be deploying. He is deploying a little bit now, but he definitely could have done better. And I guess that's gonna be his final run. We're gonna go then with Mark, the man in P3 in the standings. This is a crucial lap for him. Gotta say, this is a very difficult track to overtake. Much more difficult than the original layout. So, track position may be very, very important today here. And also the degradation is very high, so maybe an undercut could be... Well, Wilkos left the session. I'm gonna invite him. I'm gonna invite Wilco back into the lobby. And Mark coming here into the final couple of corners. Oh, nearly got blocked there by... Who was it? Ferrari. But, well, thankfully, nothing happened, I think. Maybe lost a little bit of time there. And now we follow him into the final part of the track. Getting in the line. He's gonna go... Oh, doesn't manage to improve. P9 for Mark. Gonna go on with Equasar then with Luca. Luca who's still in sector 1 but seems to be very comfortable to take pole position today. Not improving at the moment in the first sector. We'll see if Equasar can do anything about it though. 2/10 improvement for Equasar. The battle for pole is on still. We gotta see what this man in the Racing Bull can do against the man on the Red Bull. We remember these two were fighting for the win in Australia at some point. Well then both DNF by different reasons. Today we can see a repeat of that, following now Equasar into the end of Sector 2, getting the new DRS zone here in the straight right after Cops. Luca finishing Sector 2, improving 1/10, still improving his previous lap, and that's a great job here by him. And Equasar improving 5/10 in Sector 2. That, yeah, it's gonna be a very close fight for pole position here. Duki has got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with RPM. Interesting there between the Ferrari and the McLaren. We follow now Equasar into the finish line. Luca moves up, improves 25.8. Equasar now goes 25.9. Misses by less than a tenth. Less than a tenth separates these two. Onion still on a flying lap. Following him into the Second sector improving 2 tenths. I think he can comfortably get that P2. What is Buva doing? Improving as well a little bit. And Dino Bino Bambino coming here also into the end of his lap. Gotta go then with Onian, who's about to finish the flying lap. Then will be Buva, then Dino Bino Bambino. We got a yellow flag from a Williams, I think, in the finish line. I don't know who that is. But we follow now Onian, and it's gonna improve 2 tenths. Buva. There's no battle for pole anymore, I guess. I guess it's already been decided. Dino Bino Bambino doesn't improve. And now here comes Buva into the line. Where's he gonna go? Improves 80 thousandths of a second. Moves up to P4. And it's another pole for the Red Bull driver, for Lucas since Australia. Got pole position, now he's got it once again here in Silverstone reversed. But it's not gonna be an easy victory for him. He's gonna have Equator right at the back of him. He's gonna be attacking for that race win. We'll see who of these two is gonna take victory today, or if maybe someone else will take it. Joseph Vesely putting that Haas up into P4. Right behind his teammate Onian. I don't know if these two are gonna do some teamwork. There are gonna be any team orders. The pace shouldn't be that different, but Joseph Vesely will be happy with scoring a podium today. What a gap Luca and Equasar have put on the rest of the grid. It's a big difference. Well, let's pay attention to safety cars, to tire degradation. And, well, of course, undercuts, track position gonna be important. And, yeah, someone be brave and try a two-stopper. A one-stopper, I'm sorry. Welcome back to another week of IOR. Today we will be racing at Silverstone, but it's not Silverstone we are used to. It's now the reverse track of Silverstone, brought for the first time in an F1 game in F1 2025. And well, it's round 5 of season 12. It's gonna be an interesting one, as basically it's a new layout for everyone. It's Silverstone, yes, but like I said before, it's the backwards track. Still 2 DRS zones today. Though one of the hangar straight like in the original track, the other one is in the straight after Cops and not in the Wellington straight. Still 26 laps of racing and a very high degradation. Now we're gonna have a little view of Silverstone. We have 4 winners on this season already, being Omar the last one last week in Spain. Are we getting another winner today? Now let's go with the past clips. Here on Abbey, a mega start from standing crib in Season 7, starting on P5 and is gonna be already up into P2 into Turn 1. Now a move from Flatty against Bialo, a move that later would give him the win on that same day. Now we have a move from Arrieta against Cucumber into the hangar straight, very far behind on intermediate tires as well. Takes the lead in lap 1. Now finally a move there into Stowe between Marusura, Talis, and Chekos in Season 2 long time ago. Gonna be an interesting race today. Basically, like I said before, a new track for everyone. First time, of course, it's gonna be raced in IOR. Who will take victory today? Well, we already in the formation lap. Omar's been disqualified. Is gonna start with very cold tires. Let's see what strategy has everyone decided to take on today's race. So it's most people on the mediums. We got the 3 at the back on the softs. We got Wilco on the hards, Motorway on the hards, Saliba on the softs. And I also gotta say, it's a goodbye race for Motorway, who, well, by reasons has to leave the league or stop racing at least for now. But yeah, it's gonna be a goodbye race. So just want to say thanks for all the time you spent racing with us. Of course, hope to have you back in the future. Hope you stay in the Discord and to keep updated on everything we are doing as a league. And well, also congratulations for never giving up. You've had to race against very, very quick drivers. I know you're still learning a lot in the game, trying to improve, but I can say you've improved a lot since last season to this one, and you're doing a pretty good job. And well, like I said, hopefully you will be back with us sometime. And even if you're not racing with us, I hope you keep racing other leagues, you keep improving your driving, and then we can maybe see a totally new version of you when you come back, much more quicker, and who knows, fight for wins, championships, you never know. Depends how hard you work on it, but once again, thanks for all the time you spent in the league, bro. We got some information of the previous winners in the league, and yeah, like said before, we had so many races around here, we got so many winners on this track. And well, I think, yeah, there's not a single winner in this track racing today, so we're gonna get a new one into the list. Drivers taking their spots in the grid. Lights out and away we go. Who's gonna get the better start here? As Luca got a good one. Yes, he has. Equasar right at the back of him, followed by Oni and Joseph Vasily losing places there. There goes Joseph Vasily actually sending a dive there down the inside of his teammate. Joseph moves up to third. Dino Bino Bambino battling against Wilco there against Mark. Mark getting there all the way around the outside. We got a little bit of accidents there at the back. It's a motorway down into last position. Dino Bino Bambino holds in front of RPM. What else has changed in here? Bialo moving up to P11. Could we finally see a good race from this man? Luca being overtaken by Equasar. Equasar's in the lead of the race, and they come together there into the corner. There goes Joseph Vasily as well, attacking Luca for that P2 of the race. Joseph needs to be a little bit more careful with this one. Let's not forget he's fighting for the championship. Luca at the moment not really close in the standings. Oh, Joseph's gone a little bit deep there. Steam Ironian's gonna take advantage, and it's true. Now Vuva right at the back of him. Mark's already make it up into P6 of the race. Wilco there at the back. A very crazy start of this GP already. Charlie battling against Bialo here with the faster compound of tires. Bialo is going to defend against Omar now. Omar is also on the faster compound of tires. Like I said, it's not a very easy track to overtake. Equasar leads the race once again. Like last week, well, it's been in the lead plenty of times already. Equasar looking for a race win today. Joseph Vasily got off at Cops, lost his place to his teammate once again. The good thing is, if they're working as teammates, then it's not a big deal. But we have a big DRS train at the moment. Equasar in the lead of the race. Omar battling against Bialo here. Bialo will try and retake the place. He thinks about it, but nothing he can really do about it. RPM battling against his teammate Dino Bino Bambino. RPM going a little bit wide there. It's a big DRS train. Charlie getting the move done against Sika Loco around the outside. Nice overtake by him. Now Omar's gonna try and do the same. Omar on the faster compound of tires. But like I said before, the degradation is very bad around here, so probably gonna see a lot of these people pit very early. At least the guys on the soft tires. We get then and now Equasar in the lead of the race, followed by Luca, followed by Onion, followed by Joseph Vasily. Joseph Vasily is still gonna be trying to overtake his teammate once again. Dino Bino Bambino at the back of Wilco, RPM and Charlie. Omar attacking Sika Loco for the position. Sika Loco, let's not forget, is a very aggressive driver. Defended against a guy in fresher tires last week. Probably not gonna leave it easy for. He's not gonna leave it easy for Omar. Now battle between Wilco and Dino Bino Bambino here, full position. There goes Team at RPM is gonna take advantage of it. The moves up ahead of Dino. Well, that didn't pay off very well for Dino Bino Bambino here. Fight between teammates, and it's RPM who gets the move done in front of his Ferrari teammate Dino Bino Bambino. Omar still attacking Sika Loco for position. It's not gonna be that easy to get that move done. Charlie attacking Dino Bino Bambino as well. Well, these guys are gonna suffer a lot with the tires. We got a yellow flag. Who's that? It's at the back. I think it's Saliba. Luca sets the fastest lap of the race now, but goes very, very deep there. That may allow Onion to get a move against the Red Bull driver. Here comes Onion, is going to try and get the overtake done around the outside. Well, it's going to be much more easier for him into the next straight, having in mind the DRS, but no, not the case. Luca gets a nice exit. Now Dino Bino Bambino getting overtaken by Charlie there. Sicaloco defending against Omar still for P11 of the race. Dino Bino Bambino not having a great start of the race, being overtaken by many drivers. And Equasar meanwhile starts to build a gap there at the front. 1.1 second in the lead in front of Luca, but Luca's shown to have very good pace. There goes, someone goes very deep there. I think it's Mark. Mark's got a little bit of the road there. Let's see what Wilco's strategy does as well. Starting on those hard tires could pay off later on the race. Lucas once again closing up the gap to Equasar. He's not going to be having the DRS, though. No DRS in this zone of the track. There goes Onion slowing a little bit there in the straight. Joseph Vesely closing the gap to him. Duki battling against Motorway here. Four-way battle here for P13 of the race. Everyone's trying to get past Motorway around the outside. It's both Aston Martin drivers, Bialo and Bonbon. There goes Bialo. Oh! That's a bowling move there by Bonbon against his teammate Bialo. And interesting, oh, that's interesting. Duki into the wall with Bialo and Georgie. And that's, is it a VSC? Is it a safety car? I think it's just a VSC, is it? And both Williams coming into the pit lane. Actually, one Williams guy moves off the road, or what was that? A lot of people in the pit lane. It seems to be only a BSC. None of the leaders took advantage of this, did they? I think they couldn't. Yeah, they probably couldn't take the advantage, because I think this would be a very nice moment to pit for some guys. Maybe the guys on the softs could, but well, we get going. Sicaloco now gets a time penalty. Oh, and it's got overtaken by... Oh, he's off. He's off the road there. Omar right at the back of Dino Bino Bambino. And Dino Bino Bambino, hope you defend well like you did against me in practice. Well, I'm just joking. We'll probably you're gonna try to make your race. But here comes Omar right at the back of Dino Bino Bambino. Dino Bino Bambino will try and defend against the Red Bull driver, but nothing he can do about it. Omar gets the overtake done, moves up to P10 of the race. We'll see if Dino will try and counter-attack on the probably better tires at the moment. I don't think those softs are looking very well right now. Wilco right at the back of Mark in front of Charlie. Charlie battling against RPM there around the outside. Is going to try and get the overtake done. We got a yellow flag. I think that's Duki. A little fight here between the Mercedes and the Ferrari of RPM and Charlie. Here comes Charlie closing up the gap to the man in front. It's not gonna be easy to get past, I guess. Motorway gets a 10-second penalty for spinning in the pit lane. In the lead of the race, we have a 5-car train. It's Equasar, Luca, both Haas drivers, and Buva. I think the undercut, like I said before, could be crucial around here. It's not that easy to pass. We've seen some moves, but from people with way better tires. Now Charlie's struggling to get past RPM here for that P8 of the race. We'll see what Omar Dino can do about this. If Dino's gonna go for an undercut, maybe Omar probably will pit first, same as Charlie. Here comes Charlie right at the back of the Ferrari of RPM. It's, like I said, a 4-car train here for P8 of the race. Wilco's probably going to start closing up to the guys in front. Those hearts probably will work very well in the following laps. We're going to keep following the fight between RPM, basically both Ferraris, Charlie and Omar. Dino Bino Bambino, like I said, with probably better tires at the moment than the two he has in front. There goes Charlie, comes into the pit lane very early. Couldn't be any other way. And those stars were pretty much dead by this point. We'll see how much Omar, RPM, and Dino extend. But Charlie is our first driver to come into the pit lane. He's gonna get a very nice undercut here. RPM is losing time to Wilco. Wilco is trying to get close the gap to Mark. Maybe Luca could be thinking about the undercut as well, knowing if he thinks he has the better pace compared to Equasar. It's not gonna be easy to pass the Racing Bull driver in these conditions. The Haas guys could think about an undercut as well. I don't know if they could play it as a team. Maybe we could see Onion pitting and try the undercut against the people in front, allowing his teammate to extend a little bit more. Meanwhile, they don't have much to worry about. They have a 4.4 second gap to Mark. Wilco now picks a time penalty. Omar right at the back of RPM still, not being able to get the move done against the Ferrari. Like I said before, his stars are not in great conditions, most likely. Charlie getting the move done against Bonbon here, up into P13 of the race. We'll see how good the undercut works, and let's see who is so brave to try the one-stopper on a track like this. I could expect it maybe from Joseph Vesely. I know he probably would like to take that risk. And well, there goes Equasar and Luca into the pit lane. Both coming in, and both Haas stay out. They decided not to come into the pit lane. Buba is into the pit lane. And well, it's an interesting strategy by the Haas team. I don't know if this is gonna pay off or not, but they're gonna get massively undercutted by everyone else. RPM, actually, let's see that those mediums lasted less than Omar's soft tires. Dino Bino Bambino cannot close up the gap into Omar and RPM. I don't know if maybe these guys are thinking about the one stopper. You got a yellow flag, and that's, I think that's Saliba. I don't know. Maybe. You got Omar right at the back of RPM and Wilco right at the back of Mark. Now it's a 4-car train with this guys. Dino Bino Bambino, if he pits now, he could get a very nice undercut against the 4 people in front of him. Meanwhile, the Haas guys decide to stay out. Sank says, let's go, Joseph Vesely. We got a spectator cheering for the Satch driver. Oyan and Joseph pulling a 6-second gap to Mark, Wilco, RPM, Omar, and Dino Bino Bambino. It's a massive difference. Luca and Equasar. Luca on the medium tires, Equasar on the hards. This could be an important move for the Wilco battling against Mark here. Mark doesn't let him through. Bialo gets a time penalty now. Is any of these guys going to come into the pit lane now? We got nearly a 5-car train in here. Joseph Vesely, Onion's in the pit lane. Joseph staying out. Joseph staying out to take the lead of the race. Onion's going to definitely get undercutted by Mark in the pit lane as well. Omar in the pit lane as well. Dino Bino Bambino in the pit lane as well. RPM stays out. And well, let's see what strategy these guys are going to go for. Joseph Vesely, the only one that hasn't pitted yet. Sikaloco gets a 10-second time penalty for spitting in the pit lane. Well, everyone on the medium tires, except Dino Bino Bambino's on the hards, is going to play the long game. He's definitely not going to the end of the race, but he's going to try something different. Let's see where they come out. Mark's going to come out very behind Charlie. He's going to come out behind Bonbon as well. Omar behind Mark. Dino Bino Bambino. Where's RPM? RPM stayed out. There goes Dino, there goes Omar, there goes Mark as well. Wilco, of course, had to stay out on the hard tires. Can't pit this early yet. Equasar 16 seconds behind RPM, and I think Joseph Vesely is probably going to extend that stint a little bit more. We'll see how good he believes he can keep those tires up there. Could he make the one-stopper work? Would be very interesting if he managed to do so. Luca right at the back of Equasar. Like I said before, this is crucial because Luca's on the medium tires. He should probably try and get the move done soon. Bialo's got a 10-second time penalty for the jump in a corner there. Here comes the battle for the net lead of the race between Equasar and Luca. This could be, like I said before, for the win of the race. Here comes RPM into the pit lane. Omar is right at the back of Mark. Mark right at the back of Bonbon. RPM, where is he gonna come out after his pit stop? He's probably gonna be behind the... Probably gonna get undercutted, but let's see that Mark has not been able to overtake Bonbon, who's just pitted. And RPM is gonna come out. Let's see, he's definitely gonna be undercut it. Will he? RPM is coming out of the pit lane now. He's gonna be... Yeah, he's gonna be way behind the train he was before. Dino Bino Bambino, like said before, on the hard tires, is gonna be right in front of his teammate. Dino's lost so much time there. Here comes Mark. He's gonna try and get the overtake done against Bonbon into the corner, and he will manage to get it done. A nice move there by Mark in front of Bonbon. We'll see if Omar's capable of doing the same. Joseph Vesely leads 8 seconds in front of Wilco, 20 seconds in front of Equasar. Joseph's 100% going for the one stop at this stage. He's doing so good tire management at this point. A safety car would play into his hands, I'm not really sure. But at the moment, with that tire management, he's looking like the favorite to win this race. Meanwhile, Equasar has not allowed Luca to get through. We got a battle here for the net lead of the race, like said before, between Luca and Equasar. Now, Equasar's hard tires seem to start working better than the mediums of Luca. Luca starts making some mistakes, slides a little bit there. Oh, Luca's made a mistake there, slided. Loses the car there, and this Onion comes here, and Onion's gonna get the overtake done. Onion is the new second of the race, and net second of the race, and this is helping Joseph Vesely beautifully. Now has his teammate right in front of one of his most direct rivals, but there goes Luca, and he's gonna retake the place. Luca moves back into the net second place of the race, but now 4 seconds behind Equasar, who, in case Joseph gets a puncture or something, could be looking like the favorite to take victory today. Well, in the normal strategy, Equasar has already built nearly 5 seconds to his closest rival on inferior compound of tires, so yeah, if Joseph gets a puncture or something, then it's a nice game there for Equasar. I wonder where Joseph can get with the current strategy. Onion's attacking Luca here. It could be once again a double Haas podium like in Singapore. Bialo's cutting a lot of corners. Dino Bino Bambino right in front of his teammate. Joseph Vesely now finally decides to make his stop in lap 10 of the race. Gonna need to take those hearts for 16 laps if he wants to claim victory today. He's coming into the pit lane now. He needs to make sure he doesn't have too much traffic, which, well, it's not really on his hands to do so. But, well, he's gonna be out. Let's see, where is he gonna be out? He's gonna be in front of Mark, and this could be key. He needs to be in front of Mark and Omar. Is he gonna be so? Is he gonna be in front of Mark and Omar? Yes, he will. He's gonna be in front of Mark and Omar. Just by a little bit, but that's crucial for his race. That's crucial for the Satch driver. Now, let's see if he can make the one-stopper work or not. Meanwhile, Wilco, let's not forget about Wilco, who is now in the lead of the race. He has a time penalty, unfortunately, but he's also looking to extend those hearts much more. Joseph Vesely 3 seconds behind Charlie. Charlie closing up the gap to Booba as well. Booba closing up the gap to Onion. Booba, actually, Charlie doing a great race after starting at the back. Luca unfortunately hasn't been able to join back the lobby yet, but should do by the invite in the PS chat. It's unfortunate he got this disconnection problem. Well, Joseph Vesely, can you make this strategy work is the question I'm asking now. Equosar closing up the gap to Wilco. So we were now in half of the race. It's Equosar in the lead, followed by Onion, followed by Buba, followed by Joseph Vesely, followed by Mark, followed by Omar. Omar that can not still overtake the man on the Alpine. And Dino Bino Bambino, who probably will start closing up the gap to the pack in front. George is retired in the pit lane. Equosar leads 5 seconds in front of Onion. Onion with a little bit better tires than the man in the Racing Bulls. Now Joseph Vesely closing up the gap to Buva, and well, like said before, it's not easy to overtake. You can see Omar struggling so much to overtake Mark by this stage of the race. Dino Bino Bambino, who's probably gonna try and close up the gap to the pack in front. Luca, who's racing as a ghost, and of course, you know the rules, will be a penalty for not retiring the car. Well, Equosar in the lead of the race, followed by Onion, followed by Buba, followed by Joseph Vesely, who's closing up the gap. Equosar probably have to stop again. Dino Bino Bambino 2.5 seconds behind the man in the Red Bull, still fighting against the man in the Alpine. And Wilco's made his stop, and is now 9 seconds behind. He's probably gonna have to stop again. I don't see those mediums making it to the end of the race, but probably may get an ECP 9 maybe. And yeah, Charlie's come in to make his final stop of the race, going hard towards the end of this British GP. Battle between Omar and Mark will continue then. I think Dino Bino Bambino could think about an undercut. But, well, those hearts still have life on them. Joseph Vesely now right at the back of Puva. This could be crucial for the race win. Joseph Vesely, who's quickly closing up the gap to the guys in front. I don't know if Buva probably will extend this stop a little bit more. Buva in the DRS, Joseph in the DRS of Buva. Or Omar in the DRS of Mark, but still cannot get that overtake done. He's gonna think about a dive there down the inside, thinks about a move around the outside. Can he get it done this time? Side by side go the two drivers, but Omar has a little slider into the entry of the corner. I think he'll probably try and brake very, very late and can't get the overtake done. We'll have to wait a little bit more. Meanwhile, the Ferraris start closing up the gap to the train in front. And Joseph Vesely, now we have a battle here for P3 of the race. We got a yellow flag now. Bialo's out of the race and he's retired in... Oh! What? Oh, Bialo, what you doing? Oh, and Equosar's jumped the pit lane. Equosar's jumped the pit lane. Marks? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now the guys at the front will not be able to pit. The guys at the front will not be able to pit. Now it's hearts for Mark and Omar. What's Dino gonna go for? He's gonna go for hearts as well. Fresh hearts for Dino Bino Bambino. And now the guys at the front cannot pit. They have to wait to make their... No, actually not. I'm sorry. They did jump the safety car, so it's fine for them. Well, this has messed a little bit Joseph Vesely's original strategy. And this has, of course, helped a lot Equosar so much. RPM and Charlie are gonna try and stay out. Well, Joseph Vesely is gonna get a little bit complicated with this one. Could have well been helped to take victory today with the safety car. Why do we always get a safety car from Bialo? Well, 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 Equasar. Oh, Wuva's got a 10-second penalty for spitting in the pit lane. Ah, that's unlucky. RPM, is he coming in the pit lane or he's gonna stay out? I think he's probably gonna come in. I don't think staying out's a good idea. Or maybe he will. I don't know. Well, RPM has stayed out in P2, and this may help Equasar because of how old tires the man in the Ferrari has. Equasar looking for what could be another win in his IOR career, and I think it's got it very easy this time. Well, and somehow Joseph's ahead of Booba as well. And this has made the championship very interesting because let's not forget the moment is between Equasar and Joseph, and Joseph probably had the advantage without the safety car, and now it's Equasar who has the advantage thanks to the moment where the safety car was deployed, and well, we're still waiting for everyone to close up into the pack. And I guess we will have this for at least one more lap. Well, waiting at the moment for Bonbon, for Saliba, and well, Motorway is in the pack but slapped. I don't know if the safety car is gonna be going out on this lap or not. Well, like said before, track position is kinda important around here. I've seen a lot of overtaking though, but yeah, it's important to keep the track position. It's easy to save the battery around here, and it's also not really good straights to overtake. Not very good corners to finish that straight. Motorways in the pit lane. It's coming in for new tires coming to the end of the race. Saliba will meet the Paxum Bonbons in the pit lane as well. Let's see what are the penalties the drivers have. I think Buva maybe should pit, or should have picked pit as well, because that 10-second time penalty is gonna mess him up anyway. And Bialo leaves the session. Well, he for some reason stayed watching the safety car do laps, I guess. Well, and we're gonna get going now. Here comes Equasar into the final couple of corners. Equasar, the man that seems like the favorite to win today here in Silverstone, is looking for his second win of the season, second win in his career as well. And now we get going. Equasar gets there the move. Charlie battling against Onion, tries to get the move, but yeah, can't do before the... Oh, but now does so. Gets the overtake done. Nice restart there by Charlie, moving himself up into P3 of the race. Onion and now is going to be defending from his own teammate. I don't know if he's going to let him go, because of course there goes Omar. Finally gets the move done against Mark. Omar's moved up into P7 of the race. Well, in the restart, took the advantage there. Now Equasar leading 1.2 in front. Joseph Vesely gets past his teammate Onion. Now is up into P4 of the race on the medium tires, and is going to try and close up the gap into the guys in front. Charlie is going to be attacking RPM for that second place of the race. RPM is going to be defending hard. He's going down the inside there. It's not an easy track to overtake, like said before. This is giving a lot of life to Equasar. There goes Charlie around the outside. Banging wheels go the Ferrari and the Mercedes side by side, but I think Charlie's gonna manage to get the overtake done. There goes Omar against Buva as well. These two going side by side. Dino Bino Bambino losing some positions there. Buva loses the place against Omar. Now Buva, and there goes Omar, sends a dive. Oh, Omar's around there. Something not gone right there for the Red Bull driver. I think he was too optimistic in that move. Now Charlie up into second place of the race. Got very aggressive in the restart. Now we're gonna see Joseph Vesely closing up the gap to RPM. This is gonna be a crucial move for the race. Not a great day for the Red Bulls once again. And this keeps losing Omar more points for the championship. We follow now. Omar has retired from the session. And now Joseph Vesely is going to be attacking RPM for that P3 of the race. It's going to be one of the easiest moves I think I've seen today. And there goes Joseph Vesely with way better traction. Now RPM goes off the road there. Onion's going to get through very, very quickly. Buva is going to try and get the overtake done as well very quickly. He's going to go all the way around the outside, hitting a little bit the back of RPM. RPM that can't do much. Like I said, he should have pitted. it was not a great decision to stay out. Now Joseph Vesely is gonna try and close up the gap to Charlie. He should have the tire advantage now. Now let's see if he's capable of overtaking the man in the Mercedes. He has better tires than the man in front of him. We'll see if he's capable of getting past him. Now Dino Bino Bambino is looking strong to take another P, maybe a top 6 seems very likely for him. His team at RPM now could help him a little bit. Defending against Buba, defending against Mark as well. There goes RPM. Buba is gonna try and get the overtake there down the inside. RPM is gonna try and hold it all the way around the outside. Mark's gonna try and get involved into the fight as well. We follow there the battle between Buva and RPM. Buva's got the move done, but now RPM's gotta get the DRS. I don't think he's capable of taking the place back, but we'll see. He's still on the slipstream. He's trying to close up a little bit the gap. RPM's done a good work there for his teammate. Now RPM, maybe he's gonna back off Mark a little bit in here. RPM goes a little bit deep there. He's gonna try and defend the Alpine driver as well. Here comes Dino Bino Bambino under pressure as well from Wilco. It's a very interesting fight. The Mark goes wide. The Mark goes off the road there. Dino Bino Bambino is through. Dino Bino Bambino is through. And now up into P7 of the race. I think RPM needs to let him go there into the next straight. Would be good teamwork by both Ferraris if he does so. Dino needs to try and go chase after Buva. Is he gonna let him go? Is he gonna back his teammate up? Well, he's not letting him go yet. I don't know if he will let him go. But I think if they're working as teammates, he should let him go. And he hasn't done so yet. The Alpines are close to each other as well. Then we will have to follow the fight between Joseph Vesely and Charlie that will start very soon. Now Mark attacking Dino Bino Bambino once again. It's gonna be a little bit of a late move there by Dino Bino Bambino. Dino goes wide there and that's Mark through once again. I guess it wasn't great team job there by RPM, but anyway, it's his decision if he wants to let him by or not. Don't force anyone to work as teammates. Now Dino Bino Bambino defending against Wilco. Wilco will get the move done around the outside. A nice move there from Wilco, and is he gonna get the better straight line speed into the corner? Side by side go the two of them, and it's Wilco who will be moving ahead of Dino Bino Bambino. Nice move there by the kick driver. Dino Bino Bambino not looking very quick at the moment. Mark's gonna be attacking RPM, but RPM at the moment defending really well. So well, RPM decided to keep his track position, is gonna be defending hard against Mark. Mark goes all the way around the outside, gets the overtake done. Nice move there by Mark. And at the moment it's an interesting battle for the podium. Oh, that's been contact between Dino and Sicaloco. Dino Bino Bambino falls down to P10 of the race. Joseph Vesely closing up the gap now to Charlie. The top three have already won races this season. Are looking for another win, but well, at the moment Charlie really doesn't have the weapons to attack Equistar for that lead of the race. It's mostly a Joseph Vesely thing now, trying to overtake the man in the Mercedes. And Joseph definitely has the tire advantage now. Can he get the overtake done? Let's not forget how tricky it is to overtake around here. Charlie bumping a little bit the curve in there. Joseph Vesely closing up the gap. Both are gonna have good amount of battery. Joseph to attack, Charlie to defend, but it's not gonna be easy for Joseph Vesely to get past the man in the Mercedes. Following the battle between Joseph Vesely and Charlie. Joseph trying to get a little bit close. He needs to get a nice exit out of Cops. Gets a nice one, but still is not close at all to attacking Charlie for that P2 of the race. The gap now after this, I think, is going to be 1 point between Joseph and Equistar if the race finishes like it is. Unless who has the fastest lap? Equistar, no, actually going to be tied on points if I'm not wrong. It's going to be very interesting to see how the championship stands after this race, and at this point I think we could say already the championship is going to be between Equistar and Joseph Vesely. The two guys that were the closest to this two are Dino and Mark, who at the moment are not scoring great points. Omar, who could have closed up the gap, has DNF the race, so it's going to be Another point extension from Equasar and Joseph Vesely. So yeah, the battle for the championship at the moment is between Joseph and Equasar. We could say very clearly, I think, by now. Buva's gonna be scoring good points as well. Maybe he's gonna take the... Yeah, he's gonna take nice points, but still I think a bit far from the championship fight. Duki's got a 10-second for spitting in the pit lane, retires in the pit lane. Now Joseph Vesely once again gonna be attacking Charlie for P2 of the race. Well, it's both Hasses now attacking the man on the Mercedes. Maybe Charlie also somehow working for Equasar here, defending his lead of the race. Meanwhile, this train RPM has managed to survive there very well. I think still pitting would have been better for the Ferrari driver, but he's managed to stay in front of his teammate at least, and it's in front of Sika Loco at the moment. He might be picking up some positions due to the penalties. Buva surviving with those old medium tires, same as Joseph Vesely. The degradation doesn't seem to hit on this guys. Equasar is not extending the gap too much to Charlie as well. He had actually a very good race. Sorry. Onian closing up the gap to his teammate as well. This could be a double Haas podium depending how Charlie manages to finish this race. Joseph Vesely actually battling against Onian here for P3 of the race. He's gonna let his teammate go. It looks like he will. No, he actually doesn't. Joseph Vesely manages to stay in front. Joseph Vesely is still on P3 of the race. Both Hasses now gonna be attacking then Charlie for that second position of the race. Joseph Vesely with good battery savings. Onian doesn't have great battery savings at the moment. Joseph knows he's fighting for the championship. He's gonna be trying to take a podium once again today. If he can, he's gonna try and get that second place of the race. The safety car messed him up. Definitely messed him up his original strategy, but Joel still is trying to save as much as possible. Oh, and Joseph Vesely is gone off the road there. That's gonna allow Onian to get past. Onian's gonna get through now, but Joseph's trying to defend the place around the outside. Joseph Vesely will try and come in front of his teammate after the corner. Nice defense there by Joseph Vesely. If he managed to defend and does manage to defend against his teammate, well, of course, Onian trying to get another podium for himself. Joseph Vesely trying to get P2. And I wonder if actually Joseph's managing to close up the gap very easily to Charlie. I wonder if Joseph got past Charlie if he would have been chasing Equasar for the win. Could have well been, but we got a battle between RPM and Sika Loco here for P8 of the race. Dino Bino Bambino getting in the mix as well. There we go, Sika Loco diving down the inside. Oh, forces RPM off the road there. Dino Bino Bambino's through. Sika Loco's force RPM off the road in there. Sika Loco's gonna rejoin the track. RPM will definitely not be... RPM will not be very happy about it. Still gonna be taking Sika Loco's position. Dino Bino Bambino, where can he get? He will need to fly now to try and take... Oh, Wilkos left the session. Wilkos left the session now. He's not gonna be disqualified due to being on the final lap, but that's gonna cost him the position against Dino. It's unfortunate for him. And I guess Salibas disconnected in the penultimate lap as well, so well, they're still gonna be scoring points. They've disconnected lately. It's pointless to try and rejoin now, I think, so I'm gonna let it pass for this occasion. Meanwhile, Equasar, the man that's coming to win his second race of the season and looking to take the championship lead. Well, not the championship lead, but it's gonna be... No, yeah, he will be taking the championship lead due to wins. Gonna be having a new championship leader after this race. Equasar is gonna come to take victory in the reverse layout of Silverstone's final meters for the man in the Racing Bulls. Equasar wins the British GP. Charlie will take second. Joseph will take third. Onian on P4. Now, how is this gonna unfold? Probably Mark's gonna be taking P5 of the race, and Dino's gonna probably be taking P6 due to Buva's 10-second time penalty. And yes, he will. Dino up into 6th position of the race. And we follow Motorway now, that's coming to make what's gonna be Bonbon's DNF'd. No, I think he had already crossed the line. I think it's probably a glitch of the game. We follow now Motorway, who's coming for his last race in IOR 4 now, so once again, thanks for everything. RPM also appears DNF, but he probably didn't DNF, and there he goes. Motorway gonna do some donuts for his last time in the league. For now, we're gonna keep on board with him in his goodbye race. Thanks for all, mate. Definitely looking forward to see you back in the future. So we're gonna go now with the post-race interviews and of course with the national anthem. Gonna go with the Vietnamese anthem and then with the Italian anthem for Equastar and for Racing Bulls. Well, and that's the national anthems for today. Another win for Equasar in IOR. It's second in his career, his second of the season as well, and I guess being taking the championship lead by having more wins than Joseph Vesely. But now let's start with the post-race interviews. We got Joseph in the voice chat from the Discord. So, well, first of all, gotta say congratulations, Joseph Vesely, on another podium. I guess it's still a better result than last week on Spain. I think you showed once again to be on the pace both in qualifying, which gotta say it was much better than on previous races, and in the race as well. And it's still good points for the championship. But what can you say about the strategy today? I think you probably would have nailed it perfectly without the safety car happening at a moment, of course, where Equasar was in the lead of the race and probably was gonna pit again. So. What can you say about it? I guess you were planning the one stop, but well, that safety car didn't help you at all.
Hi. Yeah, I'm gonna start with the qualifying. I mean, it was quite tricky for me because I had few invalid laps, and the last lap was I had to abort my first lap because I had invalidated my lap, so I had to go second flying lap. Luckily, I have saved enough battery and I have just managed to go into that lap. And yeah, the lap wasn't amazing, but it was okay. Put me P4, which is a great position to start. And yeah, the race, I planned to do a one stop. The tire wear on the mediums was pretty high. I think when I pitted, I had around 85% on the right rear, so that was not ideal. But hearts, they were actually, I would say, pretty durable. And yeah, then the safety car came out. Actually, I was quite lucky because if it came out a little bit earlier, the mediums probably would not make it to the end, and other guys would have pitted for hearts and they would have made it easily to the end. I actually didn't know that they had two hearts. I was not only one, but few of the drivers who had two mediums. So I was unlucky, but a little bit lucky with the safety car. But without the safety car, I would maybe fight for the victory, maybe win. Not sure about that. The gap would be, I don't know, around 20 seconds probably, maybe even more for Equator to gain, which would be pretty hard. But I think he had a really good pace and to the end he would probably gain quite a lot of time on me. Not sure if he could catch me, but we will never know. But it was not the worst race. At the end, I could have maybe got P2, but the mediums at the end, they were a little bit worn, and I made a couple of mistakes, and Charlie was driving really well, so I couldn't get past him. At the end, I was quite happy with the P3. I had good fight with my teammate, and yeah, that's probably it.
Well, like you said, still pretty good result, podium, and some more good points for the championship. But talking about the championship, I guess you got really good points for the constructors today, thanks to that P3 and P4 from you and Onian. But then in the drivers' championship, I guess after today's race, if I'm not wrong, Equasar got the fastest lap, which means now you are tied in points because it closes up 11 points, which was the gap previous race. So I think at this point, having in mind, well, Omar's DNF'd today, he's losing a lot of ground to you, and then I think Mark, Dino are much more far behind after today as well, Buva. Then I think we could say the championship is probably between you two already. Having in mind also we are nearly at the middle of the season. So How are you looking forward now to race Equisar towards the rest of the season? I think today you could have won due to the strategy, but also he's been quicker in qualifying, for example. And then in Japan, for example, you were faster. Then probably in Spain, if you got a better qualifying, you probably would have been on similar pace. But I guess you probably will have to fight him towards in the next 7 races. So how are you looking forward to it? What do you think you can do to win this championship? To maybe try and close the gap to him in terms of pace on some tracks. Also having Austria being the next race, which is maybe a track you struggled in last season, but you've also won there a couple seasons ago. So maybe it's just a little bit of practice. The setup also it's a track where it's very close, and well, we have 6 more tracks later, which 2 are Vegas and Baku, for example, which a lot can happen. So how are you looking forward into the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, he deserves to lead the championship. I think he was faster. Probably not in all races, but most of the season he was faster. And these last couple of races, he was driving really, really good. And I had not a great race in Spain. I had that crash in the first lap that I picked up some wing damage, so that was not a great race for me. Here I am quite happy with the result because I was driving for the first time Silverstone reverse, so I had to enable racing line assist because without it would be really hard for me. So I'm actually pretty happy with the result, and we will see what we can do. It's probably going to be a tough fight, and I know that already. Even with a lot of practice, it probably will be very tough. But let's see. I mean, we are doing really good job in constructors. Me and Oni are driving quite well, and we are quite similar on pace. So I think we can definitely fight for constructors, and hopefully I can fight for the drivers' championship as well.
And then how are you looking into Austria, like I said? Do you think it's a track that could suit you this season? Because last season you had some issues, I think, around there, but you think this season could go the other way around?
I mean, Austria is a really difficult track for track limits, so consistency is going to be a big part of it, and I actually enjoy it on this game. And it's probably going to be a big DRS train. Maybe someone can escape from it, but it's going to be very hard. Maybe we can see some safety cars. I'm not sure how the tire wear is around Austria, but I really enjoyed that track, so hopefully I can again be on the podium and maybe fight for the win as well.
Well then, thanks for the interviews and congratulations again for the podium. We'll see what next week gives us in Austria, and also excited to see how this championship will finish.
Yeah, still long way to go. Thank you. Bye bye.
Well, and that's it for today. Thanks to all for watching this British GP, a little bit different than what we usually have in the reverse track. Next week, we're back to normal. We're back to Austria, classic track. And also to mention an interesting fact is that it's going to be our official 150th race in IOR history. So maybe it's going to be a little bit of a special event. Maybe you'll see a special name. And it's interesting because it wasn't planned. I can say it wasn't planned, but it's actually in Austria where all this story started in long ago in 2020. The first race in IOR happened in Austria. Then we had an exhibition race in F122 in Austria as well. And now, surprisingly, we come to Austria once again as the 150th race in the history of the league. So it's going to be a special one in my opinion. Hope to see a great show, and well, we'll see what else happens there in our 150th GP. It's been so many years since the league is on, and well, very happy for all what's been achieved in all those years. Very happy for all the memories, and of course, and first of all, very thankful to all the drivers who make all this possible. Because without drivers, of course, there would be no league. So, well, once again, thanks to all, and hope to have a great event next week.